Halloween story. It's a dark, cold night and the wind is really starting to whip in your face. You have just finished trick-or-treating with your friends. They've all gone home now to their lovely warm houses and you're left alone. You wanted to visit one last house, but now you're cold, wet and a bit frightened. You're dressed up as a witch, carrying a broom, as well as your turnip lantern. It's the sort of night when the devil could be out and about, catching children and threatening them with his axe and sickle. You need to go home quickly. For energy, you eat one of the cookies you were given at the house tonight. You take a path you don't usually use. You go past the old tower and take a shortcut through the creepy graveyard. You imagine the coffins beneath your feet and wonder if they're filled by vampires, waiting to come out when the clock strikes midnight. You move faster. But the path through the cemetery is badly lit and very scary. You keep going. The trees have no colour because it's so dark. They're just creepy shapes looming out of the black. That shadow behind the gravestone could be a mummy, the moonlight making it a maze of white and black patches. The white stripes could be bones poking through the grey bandages. And there on the other side of the ruined chapel is another monster with a luminous white skull and something gleaming and glistening in its hand. Is it a knife? No, it's just a wreath of flowers someone has left on a grave, shining bright in the moonlight. The path you walk on gives strange hollow sounds as your feet crunch on the gravel. The wind whistles through the trees and you see the bats darting overhead. The tombstones are covered with cobwebs and spiders scatter everywhere. You remember that some spiders are poisonous and you wonder if you still have the anti-venom potion that you made at school using the big black cauldron that Mr. Snapes gave you. You need some light and search through your pockets. You find an old candle and jump as a black cat crosses your path, meowing some way up ahead. But you can hardly see it as the rain strengthens and the wind howls through the trees. You're getting more frightened now and force yourself onwards, putting one foot in front of the other, walking like a zombie, desperate to get home. And yet you see more strange shapes around you that could be aliens. You hear a noise above your head and someone cutting a branch with a saw and something wet and sticky brushes your face. Is it blood? You pull the threads away and find it's just another spider's web, and suddenly you see your house. With lights blazing from every window, you run home and drink down a hot cup of pumpkin soup and take a welcome warm bath, glad to be safe at last.